I'm gonna call this meeting to order for the city of Novelty, April 11th, 7:30 p.m. Those present: Jerem Poor, Chris Tyson, Susan Chaffee, Kent Frankie, Regina Frankie, Rex Frankie, and the echo from the Edina Sentinel.
Okay, now, I'll swear in the new members, which will be Regina, Kent, and Chris. Just repeat after me if you would. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri
and the Constitution of the State of Missouri
and the ordinances of the Village of Novelty,
and the ordinances of the Village of Novelty,
and that I possess all the qualifications
and I possess all the qualifications
required by law governing towns and villages,
required by law governing towns and villages.
and I will faithfully conduct myself
I will faithfully conduct myself
in the office as trustee of the Village of Novelty.
trustee of the Village of Novelty.
Okay. Proceed, Mayor.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. I thought, yes, you may proceed.
No, you proceed.
Go down the
Oh,
list
yeah.
here.
Oh, it's
What's the
superintendent, okay, superintendent report.
Okay. It's just barely trickling. It's not even hardly count enough to be flowing yet, so that's still good, but the weather's been dry. So that's, helped with, it not flowing. The algae is getting a lot worse in the cell one, and that's raised a pH level, considerable to what it was last month. It's running up close to 10. But other than that, everything's looking okay. I got reports this month online for the quarterly reports, but there won't have to be a test to Edina in sometime during the second quarter. So as it flows, as the weather, it's gonna flow most likely because it'll start raining and just the weather's gonna change. So, but everything looks good for this time of year. It's got some scum on it, which that's kind of normal, but around the edges especially. So anyway, that's all I got.
Okay, do you want to continue on the minutes of the previous meeting, bills paid and the financials? And ask for a motion to proceed.
We usually do those separately.
Well, I
Okay,
need to pass
then,
around the bills first.
you usually do them separately?
Yeah,
Well,
just a
I'm gonna
motion
get the
for
guy, okay, we're gonna go take a vote to see if we're gonna continue to do them separately or to do them all at once and then, approve them all at one time. So, I make a motion to,
You can't make a motion.
well, I can't, sorry,
Go through that. It'd be best to go through the bills, those bills first,
oh, okay.
look at those.
look at these?
She hasn't seen
I
them.
haven't seen them.
I didn't know, my fault.
First,
No,
no, not bad.
just will leave my glasses home.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's the State Farm bill for?
Truck insurance.
That for a year?
6 months.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Really it is.
They don't go nowhere.
So, you don't get very far from home. Car bumps are the farthest it gets.
Do you have a timesheet for your hours for the 206.25?
No,
Can you produce it?
no. Why? That's my card. I mean,
Well, no, I'm just saying, we review all the other bills, so it would just be,
well, I
Good to
mean,
have that on
it's,
there.
it's stated on there 13.75 hours. I mean, on the check.
I don't see the check, but.
What's that for?
That's for the, bids in the Sentinel. Mowing bids, I'm sorry, yeah,
That's what
mowing
I
bids.
thought it was.
Huh?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, yeah.
What's that, like an hour or what?
Mhm.
$26 from.
No, that's what it costs per,
Oh, put them in, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
put them in, yeah. Is there a motion to pay the bills and financials and minutes all in one, or you can do them
I'll
separately?
make a motion to go back to the, way it was done previous minutes, bills and financial reports all given at one time. We look at the bills and then have another, vote at the end of, viewing over the bills and the minutes and stuff to, okay them or not.
Okay, Kent makes a motion to approve them, all three at once.
I'll second.
Chris seconds. Those in favor? Kent in favor, Jaren in favor, Chris in favor, those not. Susan votes nay. And here is, a bill on the court case from Rounder Law for, three guys to decide how to pay that. Cause Susan recused herself last time.
I won't do that again.
Okay.
Does that mean you need to leave?
Be a good idea.
I'm not.
You're really not recusing yourself.
You want everybody else to go by rules, but you don't wanna do it.
I'm pretty sure the rules don't state that I have to leave. It actually says that I don't have to leave.
But you can't see the bill or anything like that,
No, she's recused.
but since you recused yourself, so I'll just go on over to Chris.
Sounds like there's a band playing out there or something.
Bump, bump, bump.
You crawl up her, make sure it burns right out of it.
Well, they are getting a little war, I think.
Is that soft?
Mhm.
Is that soft making that noise?
Well, that clicking is the heater in there. The
I
vent
mean, the
heater.
thumping over there.
Oh, the thumping over there, well, the thumping is the wind, vents, the
Okay.
turbines in the roof. Yeah, that's what's making that noise. One of them's,
I'm glad that they're not on
Wait,
the
I
property.
said back for a
Yeah.
second.
yeah,
Wait a minute. Make a motion to pay the award fees we've obtained so far.
out of
Out of which account?
which account? Do you split it up or what do you want to
We got drained accounts.
do?
Drained accounts.
General fund?
Fine with me. If you wanna do 50/50, general sewer,
Well, it's got
doesn't matter.
That's part of the sewer thing, I guess.
Yeah, it is part of the sewer thing.
Yeah. Well, it's all the sewer.
Just take it out of that.
Well, I don't know, that's you guys' decision.
I'd probably just take it all out of the sewer.
So you make a motion to pay the bill out of the sewer fund?
Yeah.
Okay. Second, Chris seconds. Favor?
Yep.
Kent, Darren, and Chris are in favor. Pay the lawyer's fees out of the sewer fund. And here's another sunshine law complaint received from Susan.
You still haven't paid for the bills you received. Or the documents you received.
No,
I still haven't received a statement telling me which document cost.
I think you got one from the attorney.
No, I didn't.
you got one handed here. You've got a
Yeah.
copy of the bill.
I have a copy of the bill, but I do not have the detail of how much time you spent collecting each of the
I've
documents.
got that, but you never asked for that.
I've asked twice.
No, you haven't.
No, you haven't.
Well,
No, you haven't.
still don't have it. Still don't have it.
Well, it does matter.
I still
Well, I
don't
think
have
it makes a big difference if the last bill has been paid, don't it?
I would say so.
And it hasn't been paid, so. And that's gonna be another bill.
Well, that's why another lawyer's involved, costs the city more money. Actually costs all the residents more money.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Well, sunshine laws are meant to deliver the document, not rack up attorney fees. Every time you get a request does not mean
There
you
was
have
no-
to go to an.
There was no attorney fees on that bill.
No, there wasn't. I'm talking about this. You don't need to go see an attorney to do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true what you've listed either.
I see.
Yeah.
I have
You
it
should see.
recorded. I do, I have it recorded.
Yeah,
And I'll have the recording.
I have recordings on there too from that time period.
And
Pardon?
and emails from Jordan also. So, you're saying you didn't do that?
Pardon?
You do that? I didn't give you the flash drives and you didn't go home and erase them off your phone? And
No,
then
I
give me
didn't,
my
no, I did
flashback,
not,
flash
go-
drive
I'm not gonna argue with you, but I did not erase them off my phone.
in between those two
In,
times?
no. They were,
This,
they were,
okay, we're gonna quit this right now, we're not gonna have arguments over who did what, this is gonna take care of our business.
Thank
And
you.
we're not gonna sit here and we're not gonna argue, and this includes you too.
I say I agree
We're
with it.
not gonna sit here and argue all night because of one person wants something done, and it's gonna get done right and the legal way.
Exactly. I'm all for it.
And that's all I'm gonna say about it, I'm not gonna say no more, I don't wanna hear no more arguing about it from now on, ever. We can discuss like humans and do it that way.
Gina, do you need to see this?
Go ahead and get this.
Yes,
Can I see that?
yes. Also got a summary of the insurance for the liability insurance that's due July 1st from Hawkins to make sure that that's right. And need to look at that, and then I'll probably have to get them a financial statement. July 1st. They usually send it out pretty early, just to make sure that the amounts is right.
Is it about the same as last year?
Well,
I'm always.
yeah, they'll have to go by the financial statement, I'll have to send that in, I believe is how that works. That's just what the policy covers in that, the amounts and whatever. And then they'll send the bill, as to what it's going to be, and then have to decide on whether it's, whether you wanna go with that one or do something different, but the city shopped around all these years and nobody wants to insure it.
Is this all you got?
Yep.
You didn't get this was not accompanied by a letter from the AG's office? They just sent you that you've,
Yeah, that's what I printed off, the complaint.
did it send, was there a letter with it? With any kind
It's
of,
through email.
but they didn't send you like a letter with instructions or anything like that?
It was sent to Jordan also, and I
Okay.
can't remember exactly what it said. I'll have to get it printed off. To talk about what needs to be done. I mean, that's about the only thing it said, really. I didn't think I'd print the whole thing off, I guess. But I have been in contact with the office down there, and Jordan's not gonna be in till this coming week, so.
I guess if she was a lawyer at the time, I guess.
Hmm?
If she was a lawyer at the time, I guess we'll have to go with her.
Yeah, she got all the information and everything, yeah. But I mean, that's you guys' decision, I mean, to stick with her or not to.
And is it just the audio files? Okay. And then just to be clear, sorry to just be like butting into your meeting like this. The original recordings were done on your personal cell phone?
Yes,
Okay. And
but
they
they
were
were
just,
not kept,
they were kept by you for note purposes?
For no, yes, for,
And then there's city equipment that was not used in any of the audio recordings?
no,
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to say words about this?
I mean, I've got.
I'm not a lawyer.
I've asked several times.
I'm not a lawyer, so I don't take this as legal advice. It's not. So when audio and absolutely video started to become a big thing, a lot of public boards were challenged with the crux of keeping this documentation, because basically what was happening when all of this technology started coming into play was, if the public body was keeping this documentation, video, audio, electronic recordings, basically, then it was also became their burden to store that for one, ever, two, and make it available to the public upon request. And this was too high of a burden for quite a few public bodies to be able to do. So what they opted to do was not do that. Now, some of the larger bodies, for example, maybe like the St. Louis City Council. Well, this is just an example. I'm not sure
That would be different.
if they do this.
Yeah.
They would record and have a server and make available. And at the beginning, one of the things was, in order to keep outsiders from audio video recording their own, they would do one, the public body would do one, but then that would also put them in a realm of, one, storing it forever, and two, making it publicly available upon request or online, or however you want to look at it. So that's for my recollection, that's kind of the background of it, and the reason why cities chose not to do that. Cities and other all types of public boards, and that's in the Sunshine Law, as far as like, that's how I'm able to come to public meetings and make videos of them. So when you talk to your legal counsel, that's kind of the crux of it, keeping it on your personal device and using it for note taking might not fall in the realm of having to make that publicly available, or even having that be, I don't know, that's something that you're going to need legal counsel for. Is it publicly available? If it's collected on that, if it's not stored by the city itself, then this is the question. That's the crux. So anywho, and this is probably something that you guys went through, or at least Jordan would have considered on the last round of Sunshine Requests.
What was that?
This is definitely something Jordan would have considered on this the original Sunshine Request.
Okay. I'll get back in contact if that's what you want to do about this. If there needs to be a motion made to pursue the liability insurance for the city.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to
I'll second it.
look for, or do check on the insurance.
Check on the insurance.
Liability insurance.
Okay. Can't
Is
make
is there any other, you said nobody else wants to touch the city though?
No, we've tried
That's
that
not-
before.
not really high.
think- Huh?
That's not really high.
No, it goes by the amount of money that comes into by the financial statements, I believe is what they said.
Well, I'll make the motion to stay with, I guess that's Hawkins. Stay with
Yes.
Hawkins for the liability insurance.
Okay, Kent makes motion to stay with Hawkins and pursue this. Chris made it, or second. Those in favor? Everybody is in favor for that. Something else here, real quick, got a check from, Knox County Collector on some back sewer bill. One is for the year 2020, or 22, it's for $664.19. And the other one is for 2023 back sewer bill for $565.62, which totals, and that'll be on next month's statement. I'm not gonna say who it is right now.
So when they collect that, they don't take out their fee to start with?
Well, that was, Enters, they charge Enters for that,
Mhm.
so I don't know, how much, yeah, they take their fee, let's see.
So when they collect it,
Yeah, they take their fee out of it then, but of course, see, it was due the first of the year, so on this one, there would be some interest on top of that. And on the 2022, I mean, that's somewhat over $100 interest, you know, so anyway, but I got that just recently. And I think that's all I've got for bills and
Continue with the clerk report.
that is.
Was that it?
That's it. Huh? Yeah, that's quick report.
Okay, sorry. Okay, old business?
Kent's probably got a list of old business, or somebody does.
I have something while we're waiting for Kent.
No, I don't have, anything on old.
Oh, I did forget something though. We need to take care of bids,
Oh,
mowing
mowing.
bids.
Oh, is that under clerk or old business or new business or?
Well,
It would it'd kinda be
New
in
business?
between old business and new
Right.
business, so. But, I have back to old business on the APAR main. I know I checked on the interest rates at the Citizens Bank. I have lost that paper somewhere. I've gotta call her and get the paper again of what the interest rates was, what they are for 6 months and a year. I will try to do that the first of the week. I'll try to get that and I'll have it written down for the meeting in, May. That is my fault. I looked and looked and looked and I can't find the paper I wrote it down on. I tore my house apart and I can't find it. And, let's see, what else was there? And then on the old business, we had discussed about the welcome signs. I said we put it on table for the month, since last month, since everybody is here, everybody's newly sworn in. On the, welcome signs out west of town, out east of town, Susan has got somebody that will rebuild the signs, the wood part, to rebuild both welcome signs on each end of town. The one on the east end of town, the plexiglass is broke. Rex has somebody that will pay for the plexiglass and put the signs back up. We just kinda need to know a date, when do we wanna start on this, and when we kind of really need to know, we kind of really need to set a date done by certain, certain time. I know the weather has to endure some, but it's warm, pretty dry. I mean, it can be done anytime.
I'll,
Yes.
check back with them and see when they have an opening and get back with you.
For now, I will pay for the plexiglass and get that person to, if they still wanna pay for it. So I need to get a hold of somebody, was the size, what was it, 2x4?
I've got it, I do have that in my phone, actually. As soon as I find it here.
Was that a furnace?
No, that's that
Whirly gate
wind
up on the
turbine.
top. Okay,
Wind turbine vent.
the plexiglass measurements are 56.5 by 24.5.
And how thick were those? I think you told me once.
We was discussing, if you go the thinner, it won't withstand, where he's thinking that out there is a 1/4 inch thick. So,
I was gonna say, it about needs to be a 1/4 inch.
yes, it does need to be a 1/4 inch thick.
I'll get a hold of Mike. He's done a lot of work for me in the past. I'll see what he can come up with. And you had checked one time, and
That good guys.
good guys,
Yeah.
okay.
Did they ever get back with you on the price?
Well, we was discussing whether we wanted plexiglass or glass.
Mm-hmm.
She said glass was a lot cheaper, and I'm not gonna say what the amount was, but it was a pretty significant difference between. But since,
Plexiglass would be a whole lot better though, wouldn't it? It would last longer.
what's that?
The plexiglass,
Yeah.
regular glass, anything was
Yeah.
gonna break it.
Yeah, I mean, hail or
Yes.
wind.
Pick up a rock, and I mean, it'll go right through it.
I mean, that's not saying that plexiglass won't break either, because that's
Right,
what
well,
happened
It
this
just
last
takes a
time.
lot longer.
Yeah, and
more
it's not as
durable.
dangerous if somebody's around it.
But
you
we
know.
was thinking that the thicker we can get it, the more it will withstand.
Well, don't you have to stay within it's attached to those two posts, right?
Well, if the two posts are the same, the posts are 4 inches wide, so I mean, we've got quite a bit of variance we can go if we actually would go thicker, but we've gotta see what's available too. I know the ones at Good Guys would take the measurement, and then they'd have to, this was the glass, they would have to send it in for the people to cut the glass, and then
Right.
get the glass sent in. And I talked to Northeast Missouri Glass about plexiglass, and I don't think, let me look here, I don't think he gave me a price. No, he never did text me back a price on it, so. My brain is a blank. I mean, I think that's about what we was, had on discussion for the old, or new business the last month, so but yeah, I will get a hold of her the first of the week on the APRA money. And Rex will take care of the glass, plexiglass and stuff like that. And then you're gonna get with, the people that volunteered for that, or donation.
Mm-hmm.
Get
Well,
it
they
right.
volunteered both.
Well, donation or volunteer, whatever, on that, and then kinda give us a time frame on to be finished by. And I think that's all I have on old business. Does anybody else have? I'm sorry, Gina.
It's okay, well, I appreciate the
I'm
help.
so used to doing it, it's,
Okay, anybody, any new business?
I think we're still in.
we're still on old.
Or are we? I'm sorry.
It's okay. We discussed it earlier for the last few months about the, spending the ARPA money and where we were gonna spend it. And, you had brought up that you wanted to put a, basketball court.
Basketball
here.
roll up, yes.
Right. So, I kinda pondered over that, being our average age in this town is 65, and I'm not sure how many people are gonna use that. So, I did a little work myself, and I came up with another proposal that, you know, shoot down, talk about, do whatever you want to, but, it basically is, transforming the park to not just be for kids, but there are, there's exercise equipment for all ages, even the elderly. So there's like a step machine and things like that that they can do also, so it can be for the whole park. I put in there for some mulch at the bottom. I think you can kinda go through it. When I start talking about the equipment, if you see there's a 3-piece kids gym course, and there is an adult training equipment, which is like 5 different types of exercise equipment. So they were grouped together. So on the lower bottom of this proposal, you can see where if we decided not to get 5 of them, that we only wanted specific ones, they're priced out individually at the bottom.
Okay, the equipment, is it gonna have to have a building built as well for the equipment to be inside?
No, it's all outdoor
It's all
equipment.
outdoor equipment?
Mhm.
Okay.
One is a swing set for the older
Thank you.
kids. The one that's down there now is great for the younger ones, but when they get to be 10 or so, it's pretty small. Like I said, then there's the adult training equipment, kids gym course, I put in a merry-go-round, a teeter-totter, and some recycled plastic park benches, so we adults can go down there and sit.
You have any pictures of all this?
I do. I didn't make pictures for everybody because I have this whole thing, but I will certainly give you whatever, or you can look at each one individually too. I have them all priced out in pictures and all that good stuff. Everything that's on this proposal has the detail behind it, so I'd be happy to give you a copy of it. I just didn't wanna make 5 copies of all this. I put another cartridge in my printer. Oh, I also included though, a new system for our sewer billing and for the city. So I did include a laptop, a printer that's a printer, copier, scanner all together, so we don't need 3 different pieces of equipment. I included an external microphone so we can record our meetings, and then some Sage accounting software that'll do our billing easier. When we use this software and we enter deposits and bills, it creates its own financial statement, so we don't have to worry about whether we forgot something or whether we didn't add something up. It's an automated process. And it should take less than a half an hour, I would think, to bill all of our sewer customers.
But it requires Wi-Fi, internet.
No. No, it doesn't. It's not an online service. It's not like QuickBooks. QuickBooks does.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Sage is the standalone software. And it's made specifically for small business and government.
I figured the basketball court would be for kids anyway. I mean, I'm not gonna go down and
Right,
play
for kids,
basketball.
right, yeah, that's kinda what I
I
was
mean,
thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Me
not
too.
gonna put basketball. But I did wonder if maybe, you would probably know this, if it's a bother to have the basketball court at the church or not. Is there anything being said? Cause I know it's in the middle of the parking lot.
It's been there for
It needs upgraded.
a long time, but I just thought a little safer environment
Sure.
to, if the ball gets away from somebody, they're not worried
Yeah.
about the highway.
Right.
In that deal, we do have a, basketball goal that was purchased
Oh,
years ago
probably 8, 10
Oh.
years ago.
that is, our local welder, of course, he has deceased now, but he made it stout, so they couldn't tear it up.
You see, it was
We had basketball goals down here before,
very easily, wasn't it?
yes,
Yes.
and then the kids would tear them up.
Yeah,
So
right.
he made one that you can't tear actually the post or the support up, but the backboard, that's gonna be.
right.
But
Well, I
if we
think
get-
that's what's good about these, is they're all steel. We will, we haven't spent, if we do all of this, we haven't spent all of the money. I kept a bunch out there so we could, pay for if there were any freight charges or sales tax on those, or if we had to pay for any labor. I was hoping that we'd kinda ask everyone around to volunteer and help when we decide, if we decide to do that.
Well, I know one thing, I know there's elderly town, but that also a lot of the families come to Novelty to visit their families, and they have their little kids. This has always been a nice little place for the kids to come play and run without being on the highway and the
Right.
streets.
Right.
So, equipment for the youngsters would be nice to have. I mean, the park benches would be okay too, but, for people to sit there and watch their kids. But, the equipment for the children to play on, and that would benefit the whole community more, cause a lot of the elderly are not gonna come out here and exercise.
No, but people
they're-
my age would like to.
Yeah, but not everybody's gonna want to, so
Oh,
it's not gonna
exactly.
benefit the whole community. And
That's
what
why
we
it's
need
for
to
all
do is
ages.
just benefit the whole community, just not a few, but everybody.
When it
Um,
says adult, that age ranges from 11 up.
Right.
So it's like overhanging
Yeah.
things they can climb on and that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So it's not just
But
for,
it needs to be for younger people and,
would you like to
because-
see these, the copies of what I brought?
But my only this is an ongoing concern that's been years. We had merry-go-round equipment, we had a slide, we had swings.
you always got tore up by the
junior
older
toddler,
children.
Older children.
Can I see that real quick?
Sure.
or,
Yes.
And that would, and then, not saying we will have one, but say somebody got hurt,
Liability.
the liability's gonna go through the roof more. I mean, the park benches, they would be nice, but how much,
It's listed on the front page there.
well, I know, but how much would, I know there's several that come up and swing, and they sit on the picnic table benches and watch them too. I mean, it's not, and they're out of the weather.
Everything's gotta be tied down,
Yes.
bolted down.
Yes,
Well, yeah, those are, they come with all of that.
I know the park thing, or in the past, the tables, I know they ended up, what was they out here in this gravel one time? And they're heavy to move,
That must be some older teenage kids.
but,
I don't think you'll ever get away from that unless you chain them down.
no. But how many people, I mean, there's certain things in here, how many people would actually use?
Well, and that's why I listed them out individually down at the bottom. So instead of having 5 things for adults, have 2 and 5 for kids or whatever. I put them as, all to group together because you get a discount. It's not a big discount. I'm gonna say maybe a couple $100 off of each one by doing that. And obviously, it's not anything we have to decide now, but I thought I'd throw that out there, so maybe we'd have some different ideas.
Most of this stuff is website.
Oh, it's all on website, yes, all of it. You might even see the website at the bottom of one of those pages. I believe it's called playgroundequipment.com.
playgroundequipment.com.
And of course, then I went to Dell for the computer stuff. While we're on the subject of the park, I talked with the guy from DNR. I was talking with him about some trees for bearing, and he told me that they would be willing, and this is a possible, it's not set in stone yet, but they would be willing to donate 3 shade trees for the park, bring them down. They're all in the big burlap and whatever. Also, he thought, he drove down here one day, and he came back, and then he came into my office the second time and said that he thought that the 3 shade trees would be great, but also that possibly have a pollinator plot. So, y'all know what a pollinator plot is, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, free is free. But it's not carved in stone yet, so.
Any other new business?
I need to,
I have a mowing bid here.
That's too
Is
late.
it
Had been
postmarked?
No.
postmarked.
He brought it to me in my office because he was afraid it wouldn't make it in the mail.
Well,
I don't even know the guy,
So I was
so,
given this one last
there.
week.
yeah.
It's not mine, but I was given to it. I didn't want to have to. put it-
Well, they were supposed to have been submitted by April 5th.
Right, well, that was the 3rd that he gave me that in the office, that's why he was concerned it wasn't gonna make it in the mail. I never met the
We
guy
know it was
before, I don't
discussed
even know
last
how he.
meeting.
No, I'm not saying you're wrong. What's your
No.
definition of submitted though?
It was submitted
Basically,
to me by the 3rd.
basically, it says here that sealed bids need to be submitted by April 5th.
Submitted where? I thought anyone on the
To
board.
Rec.
No,
Well,
I didn't
Well, and
know
I
that.
didn't say to, right? I think it said for
I-
questions, call
I was
Rick.
just giving that last week and
Yeah,
I told him I'd bring it to a meeting.
that's what I did too, so. You
But
have 3 bids there.
If it don't count, it don't count, I'll let them know.
well, that's up to the board, decide that.
I think we should at least look at all 3 bids.
Ready to open them?
Yes, I mean,
you can all look at them.
It's nice to get more than one.
It's strange. Well, you know that, that's probably.
Yeah.
He gave it to you.
Oh, he just said nobody in Hobby wanted to do it, he'd do it. But we just shoot to him.
But, what did he gave, that guy gave me this too, but I don't know if we even need it. Liability insurance for that. It's Jamie Nichols. I don't know if you guys know him. I
What did you cut that to? Cut that in half?
Looks like it.
That ain't tape.
See what it says on that one.
Okay, so he didn't, it's just the school. You did on just the school, not the lagoon?
No, you don't want to. That's way too.
Nobody really.
I wouldn't either.
Here, I can take that back together.
No, I was just trying to understand.
Well, it's Jamie Nichols, right?
Yeah, I can say
Yeah.
mowing is 140 and the spraying's 80, I guess, is the way I'm reading
Is that for the school?
it. That's for the school, well, there's sewer bids on there too, but.
Is this important at all? I don't know why I gave it to me.
Oh,
I'll
it's
just put it
just,
in there.
he's a business, I mean, that's
Oh,
what he does.
oh, that's, okay. That makes sense.
Or I say business.
I'm sorry, what was that? How much did he put on that bid?
120.
I did grant it, 125?
Is that 140
Yes.
or 170?
140.
Okay, so I'm getting the paper together. Okay, maybe 220 then. Let's start that one.
Sorry. Did he put spraying on that? Or was that just,
No, it just says mowing.
okay,
But
probably both? Can you guess that, I don't know.
I know he weed eats a lot down there at one
Oh.
phase and stuff, so. But, yeah. Yours he does do, he does a good job. He got those, what, how big were they? Bat weed mowers and they're huge.
Yeah, 72, well, no, they're more than that. They're
94.
90,
Like I said, they're big.
96 or 94, yeah. But, $30,000 for a mower.
46.5.
45.
46.5.
Well, I guess I'm behind.
Gets it done in a hurry.
Yeah?
Your typical 60 anymore probably costs 30,000.
Yeah.
Not that much?
16.
60. For an X mark?
Yeah.
Really?
That's what I did for mine last year.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what they are now, but I don't intend on
My
trading
wife
for
is
a
supposed to
few
get what
years.
Tristan says. He says something.
Yeah, well, I'll stick with my hustler.
Well, but
I
price
can buy a
difference.
real nice
Oh,
little car for
gosh.
that.
Buy
I don't know, yeah.
Or a house.
two for
Yeah.
the price of one.
House.
Or
Maybe
more.
3, yeah.
Yeah, pretty near.
He was, he was in charge of the spring stuff extra.
Yeah.
Chris, can I see that back for 1 minute, please?
Yeah, I forgot to write down what he charged for spraying. Was that separate?
It was 80
For
on
the lagoon?
one and
125?
80 on the buildings and the parking area is 80 as needed, and then the lagoon's 125.
Got both of them.
See that, can you please? Oh, that's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. did that, opening
Yeah, I had one over here, a while ago, of course.
open an envelope up and the guy stuck the check upside down and cut it in half. And anyway, of course, it was just Wayne, so luckily, I just was able to, he said, I'll just bring you a new check. I said, I can take it together, but I just want you to know what I'll just bring you a new check.
So you're gonna spray instead of trim? Is it this one I'm
Yeah,
gathering?
but that's why it sounds.
This one out here is about getting to be done, then turn around and mow it again in a few days.
Well, yeah, it's gonna have
Get it
to,
back down through.
have to be mowed twice. It really grew out here.
Someone should get up here and fertilize it.
I think somebody did.
Wasn't me.
I think Steve Lutterly did.
I did out there on my road, right along the edge of the field. Oh, it was rough the other day. So, did we figure out how many average mowings a sewer would be once a month, roughly?
Yeah, year before last, I couldn't remember for sure, but I mowed it 6 times the year before, and last year, I think I just mowed it twice. But that was an unusual year, so, no, probably 5 to 6 times is probably what it needs to be mowed. The lagoon, of course, up here at school, it needs to be,
Every week.
every week,
where it's needed.
yeah, sometimes there's places it grows more than others, that's for sure, like out here around this playground equipment and stuff, it really grows out here. And it's not, the rest of it's not near quite so bad, but it's rougher, rougher than cotton.
Oh, I'm just writing figures, you know, it's whatever.
Okay.
I'm doing my own
I was gonna
figures, so
say,
it's my
I
own
just-
figures, so that's,
Can I say something?
Sure.
I just want y'all to take in consideration that the city is going through a lot of, changes right now, and there was a lot of expenses, so, just choose how you wanna choose on the mowing, and I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind, that the city is, a lot of expenses.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve Rex, because this is the cheapest. And he's right here in town, and he's done it all. So it makes sense to me.
Is there a second?
For him to do it.
Awesome.
Jaren seconds. In favor? No, since you can't vote.
I was gonna say, I didn't think I could vote anyway, so that's why I kinda kept my mouth shut, so.
You two, yes? Yes? No? I figured that.
My
Okay.
only reason is because I'm concerned about a conflict of interest. That's the only reason I said no. I would love to do the lesser amount, and I would love to agree with that. Just putting it on the record there.
Why would it be conflict of interest?
Well, it just is. In my mind it is, so.
Yeah.
I wanna know why it would be, I mean,
I
he
don't
was,
think it is.
he was,
Well, it's
we
because
let him
he's
do
the,
it.
he's this, well, it passed, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter,
Okay, well,
right?
yeah, it is. Okay,
I think we're still on old business. Okay, I have one more thing. Remember I was talking about the storm siren and trying to get a storm siren for Novelty? And, I was working with the Regional Planning Commission. And we got almost to the point where we were gonna get a grant. And then I heard from the director of the RPC that we are not entitled to any grant money because we don't pay our dues. So he sent me a copy of the invoice, which I have here, so, is it possible we can discuss this as why we're not doing this?
Dues to do.
dues to
Dues
what?
to
Say
Novelty
dues to
for
dues.
from the Regional Planning Commission. We pay dues annually, and then they work with us to help us use the grant money that they get. They have a lot of grant money from SEMA and FEMA and other organizations that they help us get. But they will not help us if we don't pay our dues.
They
Do-
never,
I was gonna say, this is the first time I've ever seen this.
they never
Well-
heard, or they never helped anything before, and the board's always decided not to pay it, for
Okay,
years.
okay.
I mean, I'm
Cause he
not-
said that he had sent one in December, and I said I didn't see it at the meeting, so I wasn't sure if something got screwed up or
I
whatever,
don't- I
so.
don't know.
Did he send you another invoice?
Uh-uh.
Okay, he said he was gonna send you one, and he just copied me and sent me one at the same time.
Well, I haven't checked it today, but,
Oh, no, this was, not quite a month ago, but
oh, no.
just
no,
about,
No,
just about.
How much is it?
Now, is this monthly or
$60.
for the
no, it's
year?
for a year.
It's for a year. I'm just saying that there is a lot of grant money out there that we could use.
But do we have to have money to get the grant money?
Not always, it depends on the grant, every grant is different, sometimes it's a 50-50 match, sometimes it's a full grant, it just all depends on what it is.
If he's 50-50 match, that'd be a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, but
Yeah,
that wasn't a 50-50 match, they
I-
got one for the city of Bering, got one
I
through the
never,
Regional Planning Commission.
never
so-
paid attention to the sewer, funds, or the city funds, or street funds. I
Mhm.
never paid any attention to it before until tonight.
Mhm.
And I know it looks like we have a lot of money, but we
No,
don't.
we
It
don't.
would take just a little bit for us to lose it all.
I would totally
And I
agree with
really
that.
do not, would like to do that. I've lived here quite a long time, and I'd like to continue to see this little town, at least people live here, and it's gonna thrive, so.
On there. That grant too, I mean, I understand Nemo does a bunch of it.
Well, the
But
grant
I-
for the sirens closed now, so we're just SOL when it comes to that. That's what he told
I
me.
I got people that I can get a grant for fires,
Oh, for the fire
or
station.
for,
Well,
well, the fire would include a tornado siren.
oh, that'd be good.
I'm trying to, I talked to a guy, Tuesday night on it, and he said, we don't, he did bring that up, and he says it's not through the regional planning.
Yeah, the grant for
It
that
is
is closed.
through, I'm wanting to say it's through SEMA.
Right, well, and they have SEMA money.
But if,
So-
I'm not saying it's just because I'm the fire chief, but we
Sure.
can go through the fire department to try to get these grants for like, if we want a tornado siren.
Right, right, right.
There's a few things that we have to look at on the tornado siren end of getting one. You have to have at least 3 trained weather spotters on call 24/7.
Okay, so here's the second half of it.
That'd be
So-
pricey.
So
Or is it
I,
free?
like I said, I
They're
was talking to the
volunteer.
regional
Volunteer?
planning, then I was also talking to the University of Missouri. Reason why is they own the Greenlee Center, and they already have connections with the National Weather Service there. So I talked to the Director of Risk and Safety Management at the University of Missouri, and she was unaware that Greenlee Center wasn't able to hear any storm sirens from Edina, and they didn't have one themselves. So, probably the University of Missouri is going to put one out at Greenlee. More than likely, it might be a while.
Are we
Beans
gonna
and
hear
all
it,
that,
are we
but
gonna
that's
hear
what-
it that far out?
That was my next question. If
Is it way for
Greenlee's
distance?
put one in,
Are we gonna hear it, are we gonna
are we gonna be able to hear it? And
Well,
we
that's the whole deal. I mean, we're just at the point of just talking right now, so
yeah,
there's no
Maybe.
specifics or anything like that.
But I mean, I know the one at Leonard, it goes off at noon, their noon siren goes off, just like Edina's goes off at noon. You can sit right here and hear both them sirens going off.
Oh, I never.
I can hear
I've
them.
never heard them.
I've never heard them
I have
either.
never heard them.
Nope, me either.
Around noon, you step out the door, you can,
Oh,
well, if the
I'm not
wind's
gonna lie.
not blowing 900 mile an hour
Right.
like this, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard
um,
them. No, I know I never heard them.
No, I don't.
you gotta listen pretty, I mean, you gotta listen, but I mean, there's times that you, of course, I'm closer to Leonard now, that I hear it, but,
Sure.
when I was at
Yeah,
Mike's,
oh, half mile.
yeah, when I was out here at Mike's, every once in a while you could hear it, and of course, my stomach always tells me it's
It's
dinner
lunchtime.
time anyway, but once in a while you could hear Leonard's siren go off. But our next thing is, if Greenlee's put one in, how, you know,
How far can it reach? And, oh,
Well,
yeah,
if
well,
you- well, if you can
those will
hear-
be things that
If
we
you can hear
discuss.
Leonard's, you can hear that, you can just
Yeah.
come to tell us.
Right? Just call us and let
and
us
I
know.
noticed on, just being on the fire department side of it, this is a landline. If there's a tornado watch comes in,
Oh, sure.
we get it, which we're ready for it. If something does drastically happen, I know the night of burying, it went off, it called all hands, and
Yep.
away we went. But there again, we need to have, at least, it may not be 3, but we need to at least have 2 trained weather spotters to actually activate
Right.
the siren. I know Herdland does this. They have one guy that has a cell phone from SEMA. If there's a tornado watch or tornado warrant or a watch saying that it's gonna happen, he can hit the button and sound the
Right.
siren.
Well, and you're probably not gonna miss too much from the National Weather Station. I guess that's kind of where it
But I know
was
on,
enticing.
I know the natural weather station from Kansas City and St. Louis, it's hard for them to pinpoint us here in Novelty, Missouri. I mean, it's really hard for them to pinpoint. I mean, it's weird. We went
It
through
is
this,
weird.
we went through this several years of, well, we should have known that what was happening at Burn. We should have known that long before it ever happened.
No, there was no notice
There
of
was
that.
no
There was
notice.
for no one to know.
But, you know, that's
Well,
behind
right.
the point, but I mean,
It,
you know,
it will
that's-
get worked out if it ever goes that far.
I mean,
I'm
that's
just
a
giving you
thing,
an
that's a
update.
thing in later date that we can be looking at. I mean, there is other options besides the Nemo Planning Commission,
This is regional.
or regional, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Northeast Missouri.
But there's
Regional Plan.
other agencies out there.
Yes,
Every once in a while, MFA, I know we have in the years past have got, what, a grant donation or something from them one time.
well, they have grant
Yeah.
money for some of our problem areas here in town to give us the money to tear some of these, falling down buildings down. Instead of having to put up with somebody having to buy their taxes and then spend all their money doing it. So there's a lot of different types of grants through, the Regional Planning Commission, not just obviously for storm sirens. They have lots of different things going on.
Okay, is that all?
One more thing on that, is there a pamphlet or something that, from the Regional Planning Commission that we can look at?
I'll ask
I
him
mean-
if you want.
I
Sure.
mean, like, it's gonna be.
Well, they
this-
have a
it's gonna be
website.
this,
They have
this
they
big.
have a really good website
But
that
we'd
shows all of their
Like to see.
grants and stuff.
Exactly.
Just go to their website. Yeah, that's where they
I don't
have
have
it.
time for that.
Well, I guess I could go and print it all out.
Well,
for you,
but I mean,
that's the
there's,
best
I
can
mean,
do.
there's several of us here that, I mean, we don't have time to be sitting on, looking for.
I'll grab one next time I'm over there. They
Just,
Thank you.
do.
I'm sure they do.
They do an
somewhere.
annual report. It's
That'd
a
be
book.
great.
Yeah.
And
Alright, I call a motion to adjourn this,
No.
adjourn.
well,
What, I can't,
Ask-
ask
ask
if there's
for-
anything, ask, oh,
If there's anything else.
ask you guys if there's anything else. You'll have to forgive me.
As we made this in order.
Ask for a motion to adjourn.
Ask for a motion to adjourn. Thank
I'll
you.
motion for that.
I'll second.
Susan makes a motion to adjourn, Chris seconds, everybody's in favor.
Okay.
You'll get it.
I'll get it all figured out eventually.
You're doing fine.
Thank you.